polity, and today we are looking at the Tinubu administration 6 months in. How far so far? Currently, the president is in the United Arab Emirates. It's in Dubai, where the COP28 is holding. The climate summit, is holding, and it's been that has caused some controversy on its own. The president seems to be on these trips to find ways, according to government spokespersons, to woo investors into the country. But Nigerians will continue to lament, saying 6 months into the administration, hunger, poverty, unemployment seems to continue to be on the rise. My guest this morning is Mr. Daniel Obaji. He's a public affairs analyst. He's going to be talking with us and analyzing 6 months into the Tinubu administration. Many have said, look, you cannot judge a government until it's been 1 year, at least 1 year in office. They have 4 years to go, but before then, at every milestone, many Nigerians would want to know, what they've been able to achieve and what they've been able to do to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians. Just last week, the president laid before the National Assembly the 2024 budget. That is then on its own also sparking some controversy. Some saying the president didn't deliver the details of the budget, and the National Assembly is hardly going to pass a budget without the details and all of that. That's that's on one side. But then let's talk about the real issues. The fact that there's unemployment on the rise in hospitals. Some hospitals are shutting down some wards because of a shortage of personnel, doctors and nurses. Migrating, poverty on the rise, insecurity also biting. The same issues that have plagued Nigeria over time has continued to exist. This morning we'll be looking at all of that with your thoughts in. Someone said, look, no magic is going to happen. The president would not change all of these things in one day. Okay, it's a gradual process. And so we'll be talking with Mr. Daniel Obaji this morning. Good morning, Mr. Obaji. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm so well. Good to have you join us this morning. Let me start off by saying Happy New Month to you, and compliments of the season as we get closer to the year
time. Same to you, and same to all Nigerians. Compliment of the season, and then Happy New Month for all Nigerians.
All right, let's get to it. Let's begin. Let me begin by asking you, what has been your perception of the Tinubu administration? How would you rate the Tinubu administration 6 months in? Some promises have been made, like the refinery, Port Harcourt refinery has been promised to, pick up or kick off production by December. We're in December now. That's some of the promises made based on the statements attributed to the president on his first day in office, or after, the taking the oath of office. His inaugural message, one of the biggest things that came out of that was the removal of subsidy, declaring subsidy gone in that, inaugural message. And then subsequently, prices of things have gone up, PMS prices have gone up. And they say, look, to cushion the effects, refineries will start to work. That promise has been made. Between now and the end of December, we expect to see that the Port Harcourt refinery comes on stream. What has been your thoughts regarding the Tinubu administration in the last 6 months?
Yeah, my brother, thank you very much. And thank you to all Nigerians and all our viewers all over the world. I want to be sincere, I want to be blunt, and I want to be truthful this morning to myself, to my generation, and then the generation yet unborn, and to our children that are, living in Nigeria, and everyone who cares to do well and to ponder over truth. And before I do that, I will go spiritual this morning. The Holy Scripture says it is only truth that can set us free. And any country who shies away from telling the truth and being accountable to their people, any government, any leadership that says he wants to do well for his people and is not accountable, is not truthful, is not transparent, is not honest, that government, that leadership cannot deliver or the goods that the people need. Now, having said that, my brother, hold nothing against the person of Mr. Tinubu, the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria. But the truth must be told. The party that brought him to power the party that brought into power in the center, which is APC. I want to be blunt this morning by telling Nigerians that APC is a better, high level, organized camp that I've never witnessed in the history of the world. PDP came with impunity and all manners of corruptions and what have you. But we thought, oh God, by kicking up PDP, Nigerians, APC will come under progressive ventures and take Nigeria from where we were and to a better and more robust economy, a better welfare package for Nigerians, a better employment package for Nigerians. But where are we today? After 8 years of Buhari, the past president Buhari's administration, where are we today? You see, my brother, I was talking with some people and I said PDP got it right from the beginning, but they messed up in the right along the ladder of their journey. You see, the internet penetration, the GSM network that we are enjoying today, that now Nigerians, even in your lowest of villages, that you can talk to your mother, talk to the pepper seller, and transact business and make calls and sell telex, text messages and what have you. Every social media that we are enjoying today, we are the platform of PDP. And that is why up to today that PDP cannot get their house right. It pays some of us. Because it is not enough for you to fail and say, oh, my failure that I failed, I will continue that trajectory of failure. But you can come back, you can reassess yourself and say, no, I must get myself on track. PDP has not been able to get his house together. That is why we are still having APC in the center, carrying Nigeria, taking Nigerians for a ride. Having said that, coming down to the leadership of Tinubu, we have not seen anything yet. it is from that part of the world. That is why my mother comes from, the western part of the world. I can tell you, the administration of Tinubu have not settled down here to start, doing what they know how to do best. By the time they begin to roll out drums, in every nook and corners of Abuja and all cities of Nigeria. That's why we know that here truly governance has come. Because that is it. Look at what is going on in COP28. Has there been any tangible deal? Has there been any tangible, successful, MOU signed that translates to capital inflow for Nigerians? But all you hear, 12 megawatts signed with Siemens. This one, when is it going to come out? They will tell you it's January. My brother, this for me, as far as I'm concerned, nothing that this government or the government of Nigeria will say now that will convince some of us. We have made up our mind. We know where we are. We know what we are praying for. Well, of course, we wish them well, but if they do well, the rest of us do well. But the truth of the matter is that the government of the day is not being fair to Nigerians.
Now, how do you mean? Let me take you back. Let me take you back to something that you said earlier. You mentioned the GSM and telecoms sector that was delivered to Nigerians by the PDP administration. If you look at the APC, they would say, "Look, we did the second Niger bridge, which was an infrastructure that Nigerians clamored for years and couldn't be delivered. We delivered the rail projects across the country and in some parts of the country. We've delivered the likes of the Owita Bridge and the likes, making roads and road infrastructure available to Nigerians. Putting that side by side, they would, the APC would argue that they've also been able to provide some level of development and infrastructure for Nigerians.
My brother, if you look at the second Niger bridge you're talking about, if you talk about value for money, if you take that particular project to other clients, the amount of money spent there in the past 8 years, of Buhari administration, my brother, in other clients, in other country, where value for money is the order of the day, you will not have spent up to that amount of money. And again, you don't, for 8 years, you are using one bridge, and a Owita bridge, and fly that bridge. My brother, you can't put that together and say this is a gigantic strides. And what is even the economic benefit? Are we seeing the economic benefit now? Even as of yesterday, the Minister of Works, Umai, was on TV and he said the two ends, of the second Niger bridge, they are here to concession it or maybe do a PPP partnership with any other company that will come up to say they will complete that artist and then be able to tow the project. My brother, see, and again, let me tell you this. You see, In as much as you want to let us know that the APC administration have done ABC projects, these are state funds, these are state capitals, taxpayers' money. But again, if you want to investigate, is the taxpayers' money that you have applied in this project, are they value for money? Is there transparency and accountability? Of course, some of us we have been told that most of the finances that went into those bridge or to those projects, we have finances that we have done by maybe the returns of the Paris Club. That is money that we are stolen by Abacha regime. These are the money that we are, brought back to the country and invested into those projects, plus other funding here and there. This APC government, even the government of Buhari, before they left, and then this, Tinubu's regime is coming on board. How much of internally generated revenue, how much of capital inflow has entered in the country? My brothers, we speak today. Dollar in the black market is exchanging for 1,000 something naira. So, what are they talking about? I analyze and have been saying to my friends and people that care to listen. When the Obasanjo and Atiku administration come on board, that is one regime that Nigeria have not, taken stock of. They have done so much for us in especially the area of GSM. And you know that it was a private entity that raked in so much money for Nigerians. When Obasanjo came on board, he never told Nigerians he knew it all. So he brought in the best hands from abroad. You have persons like Okonjo-Iweala and the Minister of FCT, then El-Rufai, and so many others. And they went into work, and look at what happened. Today, we have the highest broadband penetration in Africa. All these we have done under private partnership. Investors brought in their money. Today, my brother, as I speak with you, if the new budget, blue loan proposal to the National Assembly is endorsed, which I know it will be endorsed because this group of National Assembly members we have, what is his name? The Senate President, the former Senate President, Ahmad Lawal. His son is a child play. They call them rubber stamp. This one is not going to be rubber stamp. This one is called iron stamp. Once Mr. President bring anything, they will approve. As I speak to you today, if that loan that is proposed by the executive now is approved by the Senate, we will be talking about 130-something trillion naira as debt to the Nigerian state. As debt to now they are in a desert called Dubai. A desert that some leaders become debt, they deliberately planted a seed of economic growth, a seed of transparency and accountability, a seed of determination and courage that they will transform that desert to a paradise. Today, the whole world is moving to Dubai, and Dubai that have no water, nothing. Dubai has become a global center, worldview. My brother, can you take Abuja, uproot Abuja as a whole, and marry with Lagos Island? Can you say that the development in these two cities is comparable to Dubai? It is not true. And here we start time for our leaders. If they give us 1 kilometer of road, we are clapping hands. If they give us 10 kilometers, we shut down the whole city because a governor or a minister or a president is coming to commission a road. It is so sad. It is painful, my brother, that Nigerians who have graduated from university over 10 years ago, they have no job, roaming about the street. And if your politicians want to give them palliative or maybe give them what they call economic empowerment, they go for sewing machine, they go for pep or for Okada. And at the end of the day, some of them will end up riding Okada in Abuja, and tax force will see them and crush them. I don't know what the thinking capacity of our leaders is. But again, I blame our elders. The elders are not speaking up. I blame it on our elders and our leaders in various communities, even cutting across to religious lines. I blame it on all of us.
Mr. Budget,
because you can only get the leader you have by what you also, bargain for. That is what we have bargained for, and we have gotten it.
Mr. Budget, drawing this
Yes, sir.
comparison, many Nigerians will say, look, one of the biggest bane of our problem is the fact that we do not have power. The power and the energy sectors have been the reasons why Nigeria's economy hasn't developed over time. And people will take you back to the PDP administration and say it was under the PDP administration that $16 billion dollars was, expended, cannot be accounted for on account of electricity. They would also say that it was during the PDP administration that vessels laden with crude oil were declared missing, and until today, no one can account for those vessels. So, if we haven't been able to fix this, it's coming from the 16 years of the PDP, plus the 8 years or 9 now, going on to 9 of the All Progressives Congress, where it is that crude oil is still being stolen, which has made revenue generation for the country a Herculean task. What do you say about tackling these issues? First of all, power, and then the energy sector, oil and gas.
My brother, I'm not holding brief for PDP. Neither am I. But if somebody has done well, you say the person has done well. But the 8 years of Buhari and APC government, what achievement outside the Niger Bridge and the Water Bridge we are talking about? What are the achievements, and where did they get the money from? It's not money generated by them. It was money that was recovered from Abacha loot and whatever loot that they used to sponsor those projects. And again, like I told you, I said, what is the value? What is the value of those projects? And comparing to other crimes, are we getting value as a Nigerian state? Are we getting value for our money for those breaks you are talking about? No, I'm not holding this for
no, I get you, Mr. Budget. My question is.
I'm laying the foundation. I'm coming. But these two parties you mentioned, APC and PDP, what is the difference between APC and PDP? Me, I refer to them as PDAPC. That is how Nigeria look at them. Because the two political parties, over time, over the years, one has spent 16 years and they were kicked out, thinking that we are going to get a better deal with APC. APC have spent 8 years, and where are we? Now they are in government. If Tinubu finish another 40 years, then we are talking about 12 years. By the time this another 8 years, we'll be talking about 16 years of APC altogether. But again, between the two political parties, what have Nigeria fared well? Have Nigeria developed? Have our human capital? Have they been developed to a point where Nigerian is now involved in discoveries, in science and technology, in inventions? Let me tell you this. An entertainer in America, California to be precise, those entertainers in America, be it singers, be it Microsoft engineers or whatever they are, my brother, their annual budget, their capacity, the resources they control is beyond even federal government budget. Can you compare the owner of Tesla to what he has and what the kind of financial authority and command that he has? That can you compare the budget of Nigeria to that of a single person in America? No, a country who do not believe in his people, who do not empower his people, but all we do, project, current expenditure, this one, that one here. How can the country develop? We don't believe in ourselves. Even the project you talked about, they are being done by foreigners. We have great minds, engineers, actions here. But when they want to deceive us, they bring a colored person, maybe somebody who is even a secondarian in India, to head a project here, and you see graduates in Nigeria working under them. That is a problem. We have a problem. We need to sit down and work out our own economic plan. We need to sit down and work out our holistic architectural designs and roadmap of where we want to be as Nigeria. Anytime I hear people say giant of Africa, we are giant of Africa. I remember 1989, 87 thereabout, that Nigeria were supporting South Africa on the issue of apartheid. That even as a young man, I was in Tafawa Balewa and Lagos, that Nigerians were putting money to be taken to South Africa for the apartheid struggle, even during Babangida's regime. But where is South Africa today? Where are we today? South Africa, you talk about electricity. Yes, South Africa have over 50-something thousand megawatts. 50-something thousand. And what is the population of South Africa? No, what is the population of South Africa? Some of them would Nigeria have invested, there was about $30-something million during the PDP regime. What of this government? All they have told us about power. Have you seen light anywhere? Even when I was listening to the reporter yesterday on Arise News, they said Mr. President was on the podium. The secretary to America in terms of environment was there, and then the Dubai man. They were all seated, and the president was addressing them and said he's bringing in federal government is making arrangement to bring in 100 electric cars. I say Jesus, electric buses. I say wow, is that all? Is that all that the Nigerian people need? Is that what we are getting? And if you bring in these 100 electric cars, where is the charging point? The fuel that we are relying on, we can't get fuel here. Sometimes you can't get fuel. And the price of fuel is so astronomical that, see, it's not about talking tough. I told my friend, I said, if they bring those buses, I will not enter. You know why? Because if you are journeying from here, for instance, from here to, say, we are somewhere in Ibadan, and then you don't have a charging point, and then electricity runs out of the bus, you will be stranded. Because for you to drag a generator to that place to power it, there will be problems. You know, so you must put up the infrastructure first before you make bold to say, it's not about talking tough. Sometimes I look at Mr. President and say he talks tough like Donald Trump of America. When he came on board, the speech he presented to Nigeria the first time, when he was swearing on at Eagle Square, he said, subsidy is gone, and where are we today? Subsidy is gone, where are we today? And I wonder, they said they removed the subsidy. The saving from subsidy will now be used to cushion all the pains. And they roll out so many palliatives. The governors of all the various states went to Abuja. I had South Choludo and all the rest on there that time. They were talking. They said, no, the money should not be given to anybody. It should be given to the state, and then the state will have their own register on how to distribute the palliative and blah, blah, blah. Where are we now? Where are we? My brother, some of us are paying. Nigerians are suffering. Some people cannot even pay rent. Some people cannot even pay for their school fees. This Christmas that is coming is going to be the driest Christmas I've ever seen. Because Nigerians are hungry. There is no mechanized farming going on anywhere. Yesterday I was watching television, and they showed us some harvesting that is going on in Niger, Benue, and some other places. And they said they are using tractor to harvest that the rice production is also quantity, and there's also hectares that have been cultivated. I laugh. Can they take care of Nigerians? The former president, CBN governor, told us eventually that the rice pyramid we saw in Abuja, that is the beginning of the era of rice sufficiency in Nigeria, that we should be able to have more than enough to export to other African countries. My brother, where is rice today? The price of rice, bag of rice today, local rice is about 50, some places 47, some places 50, some places 47, 500 naira per bag. Per bag. If you want to take an Uber today, an Uber distance that used to be 1,500 is now 5,000. Where are we going? And then we talk about cutting cost. Other nations of the world, when they are depressed or economic hardship, they set the government in center, and at the state level and local government level cut their coats, and they reduce wastage, block corruptions, and what have you. But what are we seeing? Mr. Wike of FCT is a minister and a former governor of Rivers State that I respected so much. But Mr. Wike in this government, that Nigerians are hungry, no job anywhere, no hope, people are hopeless. He's talking about building an edifice for vice president at 15 billion. My brother, do you know what 15 billion can do when injected into labor force to create employment in terms of salary for months? Then you talk about the presidential yards, renovations of West Lady apartment, renovation of presidential lodge. Oh my goodness. Then the National Assembly, they need brand new cars, Hilux, SUVs, with bulletproof. That kind of vehicle, they decided, they said, the roads are bad, there are potholes everywhere, so they need such vehicle to be able to meander the roads of Nigeria and get their job done. I laugh. I laugh. Are we serious? Are we serious? After a decade or two, we are still talking about electricity. We are still talking about, oh God, it's so sad.
Mr. Baje,
My brother, I grew up saying, NEPA don't bring light. NEPA! Today, our children are the ones shouting NEPA in our own generation. My heart bleeds. My heart bleeds for this country.
Let's look at this. We'll be talking some more about some of these issues you just thrown up. But I'd like to state categorically that even South Africa is still dealing with power crisis. Just so we don't have people who are coming to dispute that, South Africa is still dealing with electricity crisis, falling out from their coal plants that are failing, and that's going to take about 5 years to fix.
There were issues of flood in South Africa.
Well
that damaged some of the electric power plants and so on.
I just needed to point that out because you have
that
people.
Is not an issue, but their capacity is higher than us.
Well said. We'll get back to this conversation shortly. Some of these issues that you've thrown up, we'll be looking at them one after the other as the conversation progresses. Stay with us. The conversation continues here. This is Eagles Outlook, and we've been talking with Mr. Daniel Obaje, who is a public affairs analyst, and sharing thoughts with us this morning. Keep it with us.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Are you looking for an internet service that will make surfing on the internet an enjoyable one? Do you want a super fast connection to the internet? Look no further, as Eagles Internet Services is here for you, an effective internet service provider with 99% proven reliability for residential and office services. We provide unlimited internet bandwidth services of different bundles tailored to meet your desires and taste. It is reliable, affordable, with a wide coverage. You can locate them at Plot 1719 Cadastral Zone B, Kaura District, or you can call 081 33121423 or 09065765969. Eagles Internet Service. Stay connected to everything you love.
I have found a way to stay close to you during my 3 months project in Ibadan.
And how do you intend to do that?
I'll be home every weekend for the whole period of the project.
But honey,
Africa.com for flights in January to March next year.
19,999 naira for flight in this economy.
Oh yes, stay close to your loved ones this season. Visit greenafrica.com now to book your flight from 19,999 naira only for flights from January 14th, 2024 to March 31st, 2024 as we celebrate Valentine in November. Offer ends 4th December 2023. T's and C's apply. Green Africa. Welcome to the future.
Aha! It's a promo time. Eagles of Abuja is giving you an opportunity to run 10 adverts and get free complimentary spot free. Hurry now and get your business patronage this Utah season. For more inquiries, call 080-5919-8658, 080-59-070-1766-0976. Hurry now.
Guess what, love? Guess what? Guess what, love?
What?
I have found a way to stay close to you during my 3 months project in Ibadan.
And how do you intend to do that?
I'll be home every weekend for the whole period of the project.
But honey, that's expensive.
What if I told you I can now book my flights from as low as 19,999 naira on greenafrica.com for flights in January to March next year?
19,999 naira for flight in this economy.
Oh yes, stay close to your loved ones this season. Visit greenafrica.com now to book your flight from 19,999 naira only for flights from January 14th, 2024 to March 31st, 2024 as we celebrate Valentine in November. Offer ends 4th December 2023. T's and C's apply. Green Africa. Welcome to the future. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Thank you again for leaving your dials locked on your radio experience. You can count on Eagles 102.3. We'll bring you into the conversation shortly. Keep these numbers close. When we open up the phone lines, we would get you in to share thoughts with us. Time now is 9:33, and we've been talking about the Tinubu administration 6 months in. How far so far? My guest has been Mr. Daniel Obaje, who is a public affairs analyst, joining us in the conversation this morning. The numbers to call to be a part of the conversation when we open up the phone lines: 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. That is 090-9705 090-8766-8888. You can send SMS or WhatsApp messages to 090-9705-4450. Don't forget you can watch us live on YouTube and on Facebook. Now back to you, Mr. Obaje. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you, my brother.
Let's talk about this. Just over the weekend, the candidates of the Labour Party, the presidential candidates of the Labour Party in the just concluded 2023 elections, general elections specifically, Mr. Peter Obi and the People's Democratic Party have criticized the president and the Tinubu administration in general for what they refer to as wastages. They say, look, it just seems like we've been wasting a lot of resources. You mentioned some of the things there: renovation of offices, buying of cars, building of a new house for the vice president. Some of these issues Nigerians perceive as wastages when the masses are suffering, when the masses are hungry and mostly unemployed. How do you react to that?
Yeah, that is the insensitivity of our leaders. In a country where people can barely feed and pay medical bills and transport from one place to another, and the unemployment is on the increase. You are buying luxury cars, renovating houses for billions of naira, paying this, paying that, and like we mentioned earlier, the COP28 that is going on, climate change, conference that is going on in Dubai. Imagine the statistic that is put out there that they said about 1,400 delegates from Nigeria, China 1,400 delegates. Can you compare the size of Nigeria to China in terms of GDP and economic, growth? But here we are. And when the presidential spokespersons want to defend it, they said, no, the delegates from Nigeria on federal government bill is about 500 persons. And when they tabulated that this morning on the TV, I was seeing 880 million for airfare alone. You are not talking of extra code, you are not talking of hotel bills, you are not talking of meals that they will accommodate. So by the time they spend 1 week and come back, we should be looking at a budget of maybe the expenses of what they have gone for to the tune of about maybe 5 to 10 billion. And nobody will have anything to worry about. Nobody can investigate it and say how the money is used or whatever. Because the government of Nigeria has never been accountable to the people in the first place. So they are listening to the criticisms of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, and that of Atiku of PDP. Yes, that is expected. We need strong oppositions to be able to voice out. But again, it's not about voicing out, but it's about being objective, being critical about the issue. And of course, Nigerians, as I said earlier, some of us, we have not lost hope about the country called Nigeria, because some of us, we have only one citizenship, and that is the citizenship of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But some of them, they have dual citizenship, so if anything goes wrong here, they will japa. But those of us who believe in Nigeria and that we are not ready to japa, they should please do the needful. And we are calling our elders to intervene, because all of them now are becoming accomplished with what is going on with the resources of Nigeria. The resources of Nigeria is not being managed appropriately at all, my brother. If you look at the budget of Mr. President for this year, look at how much will be spent on defense. In a country where there is no peace, like the general put it, education needs peace, education needs peace, and without peace, there cannot be any meaningful development. They can't. Both the army, the navy, the air force, the police, they are ill-equipped. And it does not just start with this government. It has been from the days of IBP that the military were not being funded well, the police were not being funded well. So that is what we are getting. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Nigerian over time, we have not planned well. And because even when we plan, there is no sincerity of purpose. And that people will turn to be a political will. There is no political will to get the job done. And if you want to get the job done, they will tell you what is your problem. Let's tell Nigerians what they want to hear. And then we share the money. It is all about sharing. At the state level, is sharing. At the local government level, is sharing. I hear the Senate saying they are coming up with a bill and that they are going to amend the constitution to look at the issues of allocation to local government, which is the first series of government, and that any local government that is not legally constituted, which is an aberration. It was brought up by Abamoro of Benue State. That is an aberration if a local government council is not constituted and then allocation is leaving fact to go there. Who takes out of the money is the governor. You see, we are even paying too much attention to the center. Tinubu. No, it is not even the center alone. If you look at what is being shared by federal, state, and local government, the state and local government get a better chunk of Nigerian resources. And what the governors what are they doing with it? All the governors of the 36 states, they are nothing but emperors and lords. Emperor, quote me, they are emperors and lords. They decide who become local government chairman. They decide who become caretaker committee chairman. They decide who go to the center to represent them as senators and as ministers. Because I don't believe that Nigerians come of age to elect their leaders here. Only maybe a couple of 1 or 2 persons here because of their popularity that they can make it to the Senate or House of Reps. But the governors are the problem of Nigeria. And I keep on saying it any fora I find myself. For instance, my brother, I learned that the governor of River State, in partnership with a particular estate managers, they want to build 20,000 housing for people of River State. And I said to myself, oh, what a lovely project. If they can scale it down and say, okay, this 20,000 housing units are going to be built in such a way that it will take care of the high income earners, the low income earners, and the lowest of the lowest income earners. And this can be duplicated in all the 36 states of Nigeria, including Abuja. I did the estimate, and I'm talking about 740-something thousand housing units. That can be provided with PPP partnership in all the state of the Confederation. And I tell you, if you are talking about this kind of partnership, for instance, if you look at 20,000 housing units, it will not cost a state beyond maybe about, if prudently utilized, it cannot cost the state beyond 10 billion or thereabout to get a 20,000 estate built. Because, my brother, all you need to do is to liaise with Dangote, harassment, and get value for money, discounted prices of all the materials you need. Funds are available in abundance. It's only steel and cement that is the issue. Now, if you do that, and then there is a counterpart funding from the private sector that's going to manage this estate, and you multiply this in all the 36 states of a federation, including Abuja, there will be massive engagement of you have turned Nigeria to a construction site. And that will give massive employment to Nigerians, because a lot of artisans will be employed, a lot of engineers will be employed, professionals. My brother, you can only quantify the ripple effect of such engagement. But no, quick fix. How much crude oil are we selling? And how much can we put in the coffers of the government? And how much can we share? That is what everybody is interested. What is coming from the center to the state? And every end of the month, you see the finance commissioners of all the various states coming to Abuja to carry their posts. And when they go back to the state, what happened? You listened recently that a meal, chop, merriment in some states is costing some state about hundreds of millions of naira, billions, running to billions, just to eat and to entertain guests. That is the country we have built.
Mr. Baje, we'll get to the callers shortly, but On issues of the budget, for instance, the let's go back to the COP28. The federal government has said, the spokesperson to the government has come out to say, look, the people that were sponsored by the federal government are not up to that number. The Business Day analysis says about 590 people were sponsored by the federal government. Some of the people have said it's a jamboree that they've gone for. Some of the people who are on that delegation, list, are there on jamboree. But then let's also look at the fact that there are several other people who are going on this trip. Activists, climate change activists, researchers, people in the academia and the likes.
Yes.
When we look at this critically, it seems like Nigerians had just taken this out of. Blown it out of proportion, because a federal government, for instance, says they sponsored 100 or a little over 100 people from the federal government coffers. State governments also have sponsored their own delegation. But then some of the argument is that, look, whatever it is that we say, even if we say we only sponsored 50 people, this is government money. Those from ministries, departments, and agencies are also spending state resources, Nigerian resources. They're not spending their money; they're spending Nigerian money. How do you juxtapose this side by side? The argument that, look, it's not just federal government that's funding most of the delegations at the COP28.
My brother, see, I don't want to go into the politics of it, but the reality on table is, it doesn't, for some of us Nigerians, it will not matter to us, even if you are sponsoring 1 million persons, people to Dubai to attend the conference. We are all Nigerians, but again, what we are talking about is these expenses you have made, and all these delegates have gone with you to Dubai. If you are able to struck about 2-3 deals that will impact the economy of Nigeria, that will bring foreign investment to the soil, to Nigeria, and then there is a value addition to that trip, no Nigerian will complain. But when federal government over the time tell you this, and at the end of the day, maybe 3 months, 6 months down the line, you don't see any tangibility in terms of deal on the table, then that cause to worry. That is why over time, the people of Nigeria are beginning to lose or have lost trust when government put out anything in defense of whatever actions or inactions they have not taken. So,
Right.
my brother, in the business world, if you talk to businessmen and business magnates and gurus, they will tell you, for a businessman to invest his venture or his capital in your country, the first thing they look at, they will do what we call business visibility study to know the viability of that business and the climate at which they come in to invest. And then when you talk about the climate and the environment at which you are coming to invest, the first thing that comes to a businessman's mind, it is the security of that investment.
All right.
Is the environment right for me to invest? And if I invest, will I get return for my investment? Is the country safe? Safety is very, very concerned. So it's not about going out there to market Nigeria.
Well, perhaps this is why the administration.
Yes, we are talking about power. We are still battling with power. We are battling with insecurity. We are battling with kidnapping. And let me tell you, the world is a global village. Anything that happens in Katsina, before you know, even before you, the reporter, before you know, or you talk about and report it to Nigerian people, CNN, Al Jazeera, it's BCC, they have picked it on satellite. So the world is a global village. There are informations available to people all over the world. What we need to do as a government and as a leader is to sit back home, plot our grasp, prepare a roadmap of economic recovery. What do we do to reduce the... See, Nigeria were owing so much. Obasanjo came and began to plead to the international community, Paris Club and what have you. We need to get rid of those loans that Nigeria have accumulated over the years. And what happened? The light of Okocha, everybody went to work. Obasanjo left his government, and we have not, close to nothing.
Let's bring in some of our listeners, some of the people who have been itching to join the conversation. Let's bring them in now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Henry.
Good morning.
And good morning to the guests. You have spoken very, very well. This is Comrade Haruna from Airport
Good to have you.
Road.
Let's hear you.
You see, I love the patriotism in your guest. What is happening in this country really show concern. It is touching him badly. You can see, you can listen to it from his voice. Having said that, Mr. Henacho, this is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over the mantle of leadership. He has been traveling, but up to date, nothing has changed.
Nothing to show.
In darkness, our roads are still comatose. This morning, somebody called on your radio that his office is in charge of the delegation. He's working on something people that are delegated and senators. Our country, we want Nigeria to start working. For me, APC is still campaigning. They have not started working. They are just campaigning. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you, Comrade Haruna. Let's bring in another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Christiana.
Good morning.
It's Cosmos Uguna from Slavery.
Welcome, Chief Cosmos.
The first caller, the first analyst before this last caller, he did a lot of job. But the way I look at it, yes, it's somehow biased. One thing in Nigeria is this. If you are a lawyer, you lost a case in the court, where maybe you were against the ruling part of you become biased. So if you are, let's say, a politician, when you lose a case, you become biased, or your relation or your friend lost a case, lost an election, you become biased. So come to say the problem of Nigeria cannot be solved one day. But yes, what we need is political will to move away from where we are. This is me. You look from Obasanjo era to Jonathan or Yaradua to Buhari, almost the same thing. The foundation was faulty. We need a man with complete willpower to move away from those era, that wrong foundation to a bigger foundation, and that will take time because Nigeria are used to that period where they were sharing money about and do all this noise. So now we need somebody with willpower to move us away. It's gradually we shall get there. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Let's take a message here and then we wrap it up. It's quite unfortunate our clock is on the ceiling. We'd have to wrap up shortly. And this one is from Yusuf Yunusa Denjuma in Bidda. You say, I welcome you, the guest, Mr. Daniel Obaje, agreed with to all your points. The basic facts, Nigerians are suffering. Urgent action needs to be taken if to what Mr. President promised, the renewed hope, which has not made any difference so far. Nigerians are faced with a number of problems. Proper plan needs to be taken to reposition the economy. I wish all leaders wisdom. Hope is not lost. Unisa, thank you very much. Let's go to WhatsApp now. Abdullahi Mekano says Nigerian government is not really sincere about anything in this country. Okay, we're not failed yet. Abdullahi Mekano may be in a very dire place, but we're not failed yet. Mr. Bajay, fantastic thoughts so far. Seems like most of the callers agree with you, but Chief Cosmos thinks that you're being biased because you have maybe an affiliation to any of the parties that lost in the general elections. How do you respond to that as we close in 1 minute?
Yes, he's entitled to his opinion. Now I'm entitled to my opinion, freedom of speech. And again, we wish the federal government well and the administration of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. We wish him well because if he succeeds, all Nigerians succeed. And God bear me witness, I've never gotten any political affiliation or engagement, or maybe have I registered as a member of any political party in my life, and I will never do so. You know why? Because the polity has not got into a place where some of us will leave what we are doing and say we'll be involved, because a lot is still need to be done, particularly with INEC, the empire, and our politicians. So that aside. My take is, yes, of course, some people will argue and said, it's barely 3 months. We should give the government of the day much time to see how they can get the house together and kickstart the economy and what have you. This is his first budget. like they said, of course, let's give them enough time. We have all the time in the world. We are Nigerians. We are not going anywhere. We are here. But what we are praying is that they should do the needful. It's not about traveling here and there. It's not about putting out the information and bogus, figures here and there. They should, like the president has, said earlier, he said it is time to get to work. And the old Nigerians, no excuse. There's no excuse to be made to any Nigerians. That all these ministers and everybody, all hands on deck, they should get to work. All we are praying, all we are asking, that is just all Nigerians are asking. Let Mr. President and his cabinet get to work, get the job done. We will be the first among all Nigerians to clap our hands for him. And say, Mr. President, kudos to you. You got the job done. We never give you chance. We never, some of us never believe that you can do it, but you have done it. Kudos to you, Mr. President. And again, it is some of us who are not talking, who are not analyzing, that will not say, okay, Mr. President, because you have done this, let us also talk about our subject. The second tenor of your government, take it all hook and sinker. Everybody will follow suit because Nigerians are not asking for too much. All they want, that little food on their table, that convenience for them to go to hospital, be able to pay their bills, see doctors, that convenience of transiting from one place to another, that is all Nigerians are looking for. Turn Nigeria to a hub of agriculture. Turn Nigeria to a complete, infrastructural development center. You will see that no Nigerians will complain. Nobody will talk about anything.
All right.
Give the people the youth employment. There's no employment. And that's why people are jackpying to Canada to go to America. Put up a news yesterday that the numbers of Nigerians coming to seek visa have increased astronomically. My brother, these are the issues we are talking about. If Nigeria is okay, the country is better. Mudu of Gari and rice. Now, I asked my wife last time and yesterday, I said, how much is the mudu of rice? Now, he said it's about 1,700. For God's sake. Is that tenable? Is that okay? Can any person say the governments of the day, even from PDP to APC, are being fair to Nigerians? I'm not speaking from a point of being biased or being a political, having a political associate to any party. Not even Labour Party, not APC, not PDP, not any party at all.
Right.
But my loyalty is with the Nigerian people, and I will continue to stand by the Nigerian people and speak my mind anywhere, any forum I find myself. Thank you, my brother.
Very well said. Mr. Daniel Obaje is a public affairs analyst talking with us this morning. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us. We really appreciate your thoughts on the program this morning.
Thank you very much, my brother. And I wish Nigerians a better Christmas and a beautiful December.
All right. And to everyone who's been a part of the conversation, thank you as well for being there. My name is Nacho Prince. Benedicta would be here for the Midday Extra Show. My name, again, keep it with us, business